Massive upside price action as the 8K filing released on Friday for this asset. Momentum has been shocked for an instant upside with regards to Friday's rise, and it looks like sentiment has their eyes on new highs. Let's pop the charts open to gain a true edge over the next week's sessions. Welcome back to the channel on this happy Sunday. This is ARCa. Let's dive into ticker symbol ASRE. What is up, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. Let's go ahead and dive into ticker symbol ASRE, and you are observing here the daily chart, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Gaussian band first, and I want to point out exactly the mean right here, right? So take a look at that mean located right at about 32.91, and as you can observe here, the price action on this last Friday came up to 33 cents, right? So pretty much right at the money of the mean band from the Gaussian channel. So what we're going to have to do here is combat that mean in order for us to continue on to the upside. It's not the biggest necessity for us to close a daily candle upside of this mean, but it would be ideal for us to start closing 4-hour candles. I would say honestly, minimum 4-hour candles upside of that 33-cent zone in order for us to continue on to the upside and touch our next daily resistance from the Gaussian bands located just upside of the 40-cent zone. I definitely see it as possible. We have touched down back into that 40-cent zone several times in the past, so I don't see a reason why the asset couldn't make its way towards that upside. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take a look at this. This is the hourly time frame descending channel that we've actually been riding here for the better part of about just a day, right? So this was something that accumulated here over the, let's see, so this was from, Friday. Oh, wow. Actually, no, I'm sorry. A day. This is a good few weeks here. I would say a good 2 to 3 weeks. So the reason why I'm pointing this out is because of this. Please take a look at this trend line here. This is how you gather a price objective, right? So you take a trend line from the top side of the formation being the descending channel, right, to all the way to the bottom side of the formation, and you apply it to the breakout point, right? So this was the breakout point right over here where the first candle we had this first candle here does not have any, this one here does not have any touch or any exposure to the inside of the channel here. So that's the first clean break, right? So we apply it there and look at the target that it gave us. It gave us a target of 33.01, and of course the price came up to 33. So I'm not saying that this move is over. I'm actually saying that this is just the resistance that we faced on Friday, and that's okay, right? Now momentum has shifted to towards the upside. Please notice down here that we also have the EMA 21 crossing over the EMA 55. This is an hourly time frame silver cross. That's looking very good, right? So now, following this time frame, of course, we're going to need the buy hourly to do this to perform its silver cross as well, and it's going to need to cascade into the other time frames too, right? But it's looking massively powerful. I definitely think that there is a continuation here for the asset. Let's go ahead and move on to the next chart and see what we have. Okay, so in a discretionary manner, these are the resistance and support levels that we had previously, right? So, and those of you who follow the channel here definitely know that the 4-hour time frame is one of those time frames that I find it has to be a minimum time frame for me to see an upside on like the indicators, right? For example, here, this is the stochastic momentum indicator with an upside pivot in the bullish control zone paired with volatility expansion, right? So anytime that volatility is contracted here into the critical zone, which could be within the 15th percentile, and starts an upside expansion here alongside the moving average, or considering both the moving average and the volatility component, this setup here is set to continue on for a pretty powerful upside, seeing that we were at contractive levels here for quite some time. And in the 4-hour time frame, it looks to be like one of the larger iterations of contraction, right? So mathematically speaking, anytime that volatility contracts, it is mathematically said that it is set to expand, right? Naturally. So now, in regards to the next resistance zones, remember, this is completely discretionary here. Please take a look at this. So for more immediate short-term time frame resistances, we have 35.47 to 36.50, And that would be the greatest thing here, because then we would start to perform what I just spoke of, a clean closure, 4 hour closure, upside of at least, I would say, this zone here, 3107 to 3208, preferably 33 cents. So let's mark off 33 cents here. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. We're going to mark it off just like this here. And it would be ideal for us to start closing candles above this area here for a continuation to the upside, of which then we have the 42 cent zone into 42.99, very close to 43 cents, right? But it's a trek, right? It's okay. We just need to make sure that we can start closing candles, right? So please notice here, I'm going to show you a couple areas that, how price action tends to behave. First of all, yes, this is one entire chop zone, right? We have price action leading inside of here. Now, if we look at smaller time frame chop zones, this is another chop area here, right? And then if we start looking at other chop zones, this was just another one right over here, right? We're chopping inside of this area. Now, if you notice price action here, it's reaching this zone right in here again, right? So there is a possibility to where we may be actually, chopping around in here until we can confirm a valid support and then consider a continuation to the upside, which is why I'm saying that the minimum closure here would be 3107 to 3208, but preferably here at 33 cents, right? Because this is exactly what happened back in here. So yeah, it's just and then also I guess we can point this out too. Sure, I'll go ahead and do it, right? So and then considering the entire area of chop, right? This would be that whole channel here. So as long as we know the range, as long as we know where we are, then we should be okay. But I want to point out here that it is, in respects to price action here, starting from, I would say, August 7th, 2023 to present day, we are right at the 50% of the returns between the price action here. So, which is, again, another reason why I would consider it to be way more bullish to start closing candles upside of 33 cents before a continuation to the upside, as we are testing the 50% of historical returns here. It's looking very good, team. This is absolutely great stuff. Okay, so let's go ahead and now move on to the next chart and see what we have. So I want to start prepping everybody here for what's to come. Okay, so this is the 5-day volatility versus momentum backtest here, and we have already calculated iterations, right? Except that I would need to include whatever happened the last time here, although green, and it would still not, it was actually, man, no way. So yeah, the signal fired down here, price action made this move all the way up to here, completing the 380% move to the upside, which is actually very shy of the upside thrust, the mean of 435%, right? So very, very, very close to that, right? It was actually supposed to be 50.44, but the price action ended up reaching a top side of, let's see, let me just go ahead and look at the OHLC right up here as I hover over that top end candle. So that was 45.50 of the 50.44. So very, very close to completing that entire mean here. So now that would actually, the stats are going to change ever so slightly. We don't need to change them right now. We will change them in time, because this is not quite ready yet to fire off that signal. So this would essentially turn into total iterations of 8, correct iterations of 8, still maintaining 100% read. And of course, this is going to change at some point as we get more iteration, right? It's only natural for it to do so. It's not going to be perfect for its entire life. Okay, so yeah, upon that, wow, I got a weird little breath there. But yeah, upon volatility, entering the critical zone here, and then making its way up through the 15%, threshold here, then that's the area where we would start, signaling the firing of this statistical setup. Yeah, as you can see here, stochastic momentum still has a downside pivot. We really need to kind of correct this, right? So this is a 5-day read. Remember that it is a bigger delay, right? So as price action starts to correct towards the upside, this will essentially start making its final curvature towards the upside, that corrective curvature, and then stochastic momentum would also follow that too. The firing of the signal happens, and then we would actually start to consider these moves again. So now please notice here that the last time that this signal fired was all the way down here at around 9 cents. And this is getting close to firing all the way up here at around 32 cents. So remember that the last time we did this, we went from 9 cents all the way up to 44 cents. So imagine what would happen when we start firing this thing up off right up here at around 40 cents. Yeah, this could actually start reaching some pretty massive targets. All right, team. So yeah, let's go ahead and keep an eye on that, and I will make sure to have us observe. So now in the reversion variant is showing us a correlated resistance here of 35.56, and it sounds familiar because we just spoke about that 35.56 being. Let's see, I believe I had it. No, not here. I'm sorry. It was in this. Yeah, that's right. I had it in this range here. Let's get rid of the channel here. Oh my goodness. If we can do, there we go. So here you go. There's the resistance, 35.47 to 36.50. This is the immediate short-term time frame resistance in line with the reversion variant, aka the volatility bands, aka Bollinger Bands. Right? So 35.62 is set to be the resistance here. And now, of course, we can always kind of show here maybe a multiplier of 3 standard deviations away from the mean, and that can give us yet again another target, right? So 38.76 getting close to that 40-cent zone. Yeah, so right now I think the biggest credibility would land to the two standard deviation multiplier, being that 35.62 as it is meeting our discretionary resistance targets, right, team? So yeah, so now in regards to the biweekly accumulation versus distribution indicator, as you can see here, no one is really letting go of this asset. It is a complete lie that anyone is selling. This thing is absolutely continuing on to the upside, and it shows as such, right, team? So this is the biweekly candle over in about 4 days and 19 hours, looking 100% amazing. So what I am going to say here is that if we do close this candle here anywhere upside of the opening red one, which is right above here, let's hover over that red one to see where it opened and watch the OHLC on the top left. So that is a high of 34.40. I'm sorry, the opening of 32.22. Let's see, 33.22. So if this candle here, the one that we're at 33 cents, closes anywhere, I'm talking about in 4 days, 19 hours. So if it closes anywhere upside of 33.22, this would mark off a massive biweekly bullish engulfing and a huge bull flag, right? So this would, this would send price action, right? So just to kind of put it lightly there, we should be keeping an eye over the macro signals as well. And now in reference to the RSI, which is the last part of the analysis here, team, please focus here on the 30-minute immediate short-term time frame upside pivot here, slightly in a little bit of danger here, but it's okay. Things get a little overextended. We pull back to technical levels. We continue on to the upside, no problem. Right, so now in the bi-hourly time frame, yep, we are getting very close to the gravitational zone here of the bull strength percentile. Very likely for this to continue on to the upside too. Now, I guess let's see if we have any type of maybe pull. Oh my goodness, I can't even see a pullback other than the fact that we may just reach some technical level and pull back, right? So as everything, as soon as the 5-minute time frame is suggesting a continuation to the upside, 4-hour time frame is, I guess, in the gravitational zone down here. It could face a little bit of a pullback, but the thing is that it's so aggressively pivoted towards the upside that I can't even believe it. Right, so now the 8-hour time frame, very similar situation inside of that gravitational zone, potential pullback, but again, that pivot towards the upside is pretty convincing. Now, moving on to the 12-hour time frame, look at this. This is in the gravitational zone here of the bull weakness percentile. Very likely for this continue on to the upside. And same here with the daily time frame, getting very close to the gravitational zone here. Only a matter of time before it gets pulled. And so now, yeah, reaching up to the 3-day time frame, this is starting to make a little more sense right here, as we can see in immediate resistance. This resistance here on the 3-day time frame is very much in line with the resistance that we're looking at as far as the volatility bands being at 35.62 and paired with the topside resistances, or the earlier topside resistances here at 35.47 to 36.50. Okay, team. So I would expect a pullback coming into there at least within the next 2 or 3 days, right? So we'll go ahead and take a look at this. We'll keep up with the price action during the live streams too. So now you know the resistances, the supports, the risks, and the upside targets coming up for ASRE, but it's looking very good, team. Please reach out to me with any questions you may or may, just reach out to me with any questions you may have. Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. Okay, team, I really cannot do that. I need you to do your own due diligence and everything will be cool. But with that said, team, I wish you well a very, very good rest of your weekend, and I shall catch you at the bell mañana. Adios. Yeah.